What's going on, y'all? So listen. What's going on, y'all? So we are back again for another episode review of Power. Oh, what's that on my nose? Anyway, Power Book 2, Girl Ghost. Okay, listen. Season 2, Episode 6. What's free? What is that on my nose? I feel like my nose is glossy. Is my nose glossy? I can get away with it. Okay, girl, fuck it. Anyway, let's get into this episode. Baby, Lorenzo is fully out at this point. Lorenzo probably been out for a couple of days, and he already got the Spanish crew over there, okay? Now, y'all can feel how y'all feel and say how y'all say it or whatever, but I just feel some type of way about these Spanish dudes saying the N-word. Okay, I don't care, y'all don't look a little black to me, so it is what it is. And I understand that that's what they do up there in New York, because they out here doing it in Chicago. Trust and believe. Did I tell you about that time I came home and my neighbors across the street was getting into it? Now this is a totally different set of neighbors, okay? They were getting into it, Mexican, white Mexican. And the lady came out there, no, I'm gonna call the cops, stop it, y'all better stop. And then the dude was like, this nigga. And I was like, where the black man at? Oh, he was talking to somebody else. I said, oh, so this what we doing? I said, let me hurry up and get the fuck up in the house, okay? Because I ain't got time for this. I'm not trying to get caught up in nothing. But yeah, that's what it was. And every time I hear them on here using it, I just be like, I cringe inside. A lot of y'all get people past this and say, oh, they this and they that. And no. Okay, Ashley don't. But let's just get up into the episode, because Lorenzo said Poppy's home and we getting back to the way that things were when before we left. And I'm like, Lorenzo, baby, you been gone for 10 years. Monet been serving and working this whole thing and keeping the family afloat for the past 10 years, and now you want to come through and you want to change shit the way back. Okay, Lorenzo damn near want Monet to be back to the housewife type of situation. Y'all saw when he told that lady to go get some more wings or whatever. I said, excuse me, get your ass up and get something. Spanish cats or whatever, they got that machismo and all that stuff that's going on, okay? That you got to be a little Serbian. Some dudes like that all the time, but I see a lot of Spanish dudes that be like that. I be like, oh my God, no, Monet, this is not going to work. Monet just was looking over it. When we first saw her, Monet was over it. She was like looking like she's in the freaking Twilight Zone, okay? Her conscience is just going all over the place, because I'm pretty sure she's thinking like, damn, I was about to be clean free with my nigga that I really wanted, Dante, okay? And then here come Lorenzo. He back here, and now he trying to put me back in the place that he want me to be in. And now he got all these, had everybody and their mama up in there, okay? He turned it into little Puerto Rico. I said, oh my God, which, is this little Pele? I said, which, this ain't San Juan, is it? Like, what's going on? Baby, is my thing about to break? It is. It's going to pop while I'm sleeping. It's going to wake me up. Watch. I'm going to fix it when I finish. But anyway, I was like, oh, this ain't going to work for me. I felt bad for Monet in this moment, because she ain't know what the freak to do. He over there hyping up Diane. Diane is just, she loving the attention, because he's hyping her up about the fact that she was the one that got him out, okay? Monet standing there, and he was just like, this the best person or whatever that a father could have or whatever. You need a person like this on your team, because she did what none of y'all niggas could do in the past 10 years, and that was get me out. Talking to his dude, Keno, okay? So apparently Keno and him was in jail together, and even Monet said, so what the freak was you at, Keno? You got out a little bit earlier than he did, and you wasn't coming around. Keno, he doing his own thing, because at one point Lorenzo was trying to get him to work the team with him again. I get 60, you get 40. He was like, nah, that's cool. I'm doing my own thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm with the BSK crew, okay? And Drew was like, did most of them niggas get picked up by the cops or whatever? He was like, yeah, but I'm taking over until they get out. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, Mind you, Lorenzo does not realize that he is causing a Cain and Abel type of situation that is going to pop off between Cain and Drew. And Drew don't even want this shit. But it's going to be embedded and ingrained in Cain's mind. Because 2 times already in the beginning of this episode, he done made it crystal clear, well, actually 3, but twice in front of Kane, that he wants Drew to be the lead, okay? He was bigging up Drew, saying basically Drew is going to be the one that's going to take over everything. You know, Kane listening in the back, like, what the hell? To the point that Kane had to talk to Monet about it. And I'm like, at this point, you know, he can't really do nothing. He can't, Kane can't do nothing. Monet can't do nothing, you know what I'm saying? Because Lorenzo is home and he is trying to put his foot back down and take his crown back, okay? What kind of disturbed me, I said, so when did Zeke come into the family? When did Zeke come into the family for Lorenzo not to know who the fuck he was and how he looked, okay? Like, at least didn't know how he looked. He knew his name, but he didn't know how he looked. I said, you don't be watching the news on TV or whatever that was going on. Monet ain't showed you a picture or nothing. For him, Zeke came up into that house, and Lorenzo's dudes was like, homie, what's going on? What's going on? And it was a bunch of black guys coming in there with him. You know, you had Zeke and Everett, that's what his name, and some other dudes, probably was some dudes from the basketball team or whatever, and they come up in there, and Lorenzo's dudes, you know, they stopped him, and Lorenzo was like, yo, who this? And he just like sized him up and everything, and I was like, I was waiting for him to be like, nah, you know, I just fucking with you or whatever. But no, he was dead ass serious, okay? And he had them pat him down or whatever. And I was just like, oh my goodness. And then he was like, oh, so you the nephew. I hope you understand what Monet did for you, being that you her nephew and all. And I was like, do you kind of sense that that ain't just just her nephew? It's somebody else? Because I ain't like the way he came at her. It came at Zeke. It looked like, to me, it just felt like he wanted to call him the N-word with the hard ER at the end. And I was just getting that vibe like he got some type of beef with with Zeke, and I just didn't like that. Meanwhile, you know, Monet had to tell Drew to go get some champagne out the garage in order so she could go talk to Everett. And she was like, you know who I am. Everett was like, oh, you Zeke's aunt. No, you know who the fuck I am. I'm Drew's mom, okay? And you the one that snitched and put our name up out there. You ain't ready for this, okay? You ain't ready for this, so I need you to get the fuck out. And don't be looking for Drew, because Drew ain't coming back. I said, goddamn. Goddamn. All right, then kicked him out the house already, you know? And on the one hand, I'm not even mad at Monet for doing that, because Everett ain't ready for this lifestyle. Everett is not ready for that lifestyle, and he already made a messed up point, you know. He made a false move already by putting their name out there, even though he didn't really know. He's not ready for this lifestyle, so I feel like it's better for him to just go now. Meanwhile, you got Monet waking up, you know, in the bed, and it's the next day. Lorenzo and Monet talking about what's going on, and, you know, how he want to run the streets and what he need to do, and, you know, how he want her not to be back in the streets and want Drew to do this and do that. And she was like, no, what about Kane? No, Kane will take whatever it is that he want. You know, he got the streets respects and all that stuff, so he can take whatever position that I give him. But it's gonna be Drew. Drew is gonna be the one that's gonna be you know, running things or whatever. You know, he's smart, he's this and that. Logically and reasonably, he's correct. But it's not what Drew wants. Kane wants it too bad that he can fuck it up. And I think Lorenzo sees that. You know what I'm saying? But at this point, you know, Monet is just uneasy as hell. And I felt bad for her. Like, she just didn't know what to do. It's coming back on Monet, bitch. Diane come up in there giving him some breakfast. Your coming home breakfast. She was like, what about me? She was like, I mean, this daddy's welcome home breakfast, and plus, I didn't know that you was hungry. I said, bitch, I just woke up. He hungry? Well, why the fuck you wouldn't think that I'm hungry? You hungry too, right? I said, all right. This is how we playing this stuff. Meanwhile, they was trying to get some stuff for him, some clothes or whatever. Did y'all see when the little guap boy was trying to, when Kane came up to Lorenzo and was like, little guap want to take a picture with you on Instagram? I said, now why would you tell him that? And I was here with Lorenzo when he said, build, motherfucker. Okay, we don't, you gotta learn. Like, fuck all that picture shit. You gotta build, be smart. Because I'm like, you are in that life, okay? And I'm pretty sure the cops are looking at you and you putting all your stuff on Instagram. What is that? what type of gangsters and stuff is going on in this generation that you putting everything on Instagram? And he also scared at the fact that Lorenzo might have something to say about what happened to Zeke and mostly what happened to Drew. Okay? Because he felt the way that Drew and Zeke was looking at them, looking at him or whatever. Kane was like, he don't even care about that. The only thing that he care about is trying to get his ring back. Okay? Get back in the streets and all that stuff. They go to the bar. Kane gives him a Jesus piece, and it was his old Jesus piece that he had refined and upgraded a little bit. And it's like at this point, Kane can't do nothing to please him correctly. Okay, he's trying to get his dad's respect, but his daddy is not giving the respect that he wants. Okay, he like, listen, I got your Jesus piece, and he was like, that's cool and all, but what you could have gave me is, you should have already introduced me to this connect. That's what you should have did when I got out. I said, damn. Oh, okay. Well, thank you too, son. I'll gladly wear this. Now, let's talk about this connect. He couldn't even do all that. Okay, so I'm just sitting here like, oh, this is not going to end well because Kane is a hothead as it is. And at this point, he was like, okay, well, I'll get in contact with him later or whatever. He was like, what's wrong with you? Don't you got a phone? Hit that nigga up right now. And, he had talked to Drew and talking about this whole situation with Keno, and he coming up with something about how, he's hearing around the block that he running Keno men like too hard or whatever, and we could possibly steal his people. And they just talking, and Kane listening like, oh, so y'all listening, y'all gonna, because then the daddy said, me and Drew gonna go over here and we gonna talk about what needs to be done in this organization, basically, and excluding Kane. I said, oh no. Meanwhile, you got Tariq ass up in jail. They take his ass to court, and you got Davis up there trying to, plead his case, and Tariq trying to understand why is he really there, okay? What did he do? He don't know this cop Ramirez, okay? He did not do anything to Jacoby, or what's his name? What's his name, Jacoby? Reynolds, okay? He didn't do anything to Reynolds, but he really did. And, Sullivan, the prosecutor, she was like, yeah, he had a connection because Reynolds found out about him with the, drug enterprise that was going on. He got that connection. Can't nobody even vouch for him or whatever. They didn't even show up to court for him. He turned around and it was nobody there, okay? And then when they tried to pin the Ramirez situation on him, he was like, I don't even know nothing about that. I don't know nothing about him. What they got to do with me? And then they was like, he ain't got no evidence. And then when she said, oh, but we found his shield up in his drawer, and I said, damn. Okay, so at this point, they in the back at the jail trying to talk to him, and I was like, the only way you can get out of here and to get out on bail, because the judge told him no bail, no bond. You're going to be held without bail. Okay, and it was like, you need somebody with some influence for some of these appellate court judges. And he was like, well, get me in contact with Tate, and we'll see what we can do. Because little Yasmin got back into foster care. She back up in the system, and everything is just going haywire for him. I said, like father, like son. Y'all remember that whole season where Ghost was up in jail for that whole time? It's going to be the same way. I said, so what? Are we finna repeat storylines from what happened in regular Ghost and just play it out with Tariq? I don't like that, but okay, we'll see. Baby, Diana was up in the, she in the bathroom trying to get ready or whatever, trying to get cute and all that stuff. And then here come Monet up in there like, girl, why you ain't tell me that your daddy was getting out and all this stuff? Because daddy said don't tell you nothing because he ain't want to get your hopes up or whatever, And she was like, and why you ain't tell me that you took that money from me? Because I ain't had to. I had to kill a man because of you. Oh, well, I didn't tell you that. I didn't tell you to do nothing like that. Baby, at this point, Miss Diana, it's a good thing Lorenzo is out for Diane. Because one of the things that Lorenzo told Monet is that we going to have to get Diane off the street. We don't need her in the game, okay? We need her to be up in school. She need to do business stuff and all that shit. The stuff that Diane been wanting to do. So Lorenzo is on her side on that. And it's like Diane feels empowered now that he's here, and she can be more vocal to Monet, okay? Because she was dead ass talking back to Monet when that girl said, I didn't tell you to kill that man. I said, oh no, Monet is not about to let that happen. Girl, Monet yoked her ass up in that goddamn bathroom. And I said, ooh, I knew this shit. And then told her to get her shit and get the fuck out. I said, wait a minute, Monet, you can't keep doing this, okay? I understand what's going on. You frustrated because you feel like your position is being threatened. You know, you had a little bit of independence and now you trying to get put up in that subservient mood, and that's not what you trying to do no more. But you can't take it out on anybody else. But Diane, you had that shit coming. Okay, you had that shit coming. I'm sorry. She yoked that bitch up against that wall. I said, damn, Monet, hold on. Lorenzo in the other room. Okay, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Meanwhile, you got Tariq up in there talking to himself, trying to figure out how the hell he got himself in this situation and who put this stuff on him. He was like, damn, I should have known I couldn't trust Kane. Kane did this shit. But then here comes, you know, Kanan being his conscience and telling him to listen, like, you got to figure out who had a reason to do something like this to you. Okay, you say it was Kane, but you know that nigga ain't smart enough to think it's nothing like this. So who been running the show the whole time? Ever since all this stuff been going on, who's been putting all this stuff and running y'all like puppets? Monet. Okay, so he like, yeah, I'm gonna get that whole family once I get out. I said, oh shit. Oh shit. Okay, it's about to be to reverse the Tejadas, okay? And you know what? I kind of like the Tejadas, but they gotta go, okay? Because Tariq is the main character. So, hey, it is what it is. Meanwhile, it's time for school, and we back at canonical studies, and this is before the class start. Lauren comes up in there, and she go to Carrie like, listen, bitch, why you ain't tell me all this stuff that was going on? How come Tariq got arrested or whatever? Because Tariq got charged and, you know, he did some bad things or whatever. And let me just say this, okay? First of all, Carrie always speaks. And ever since Rox pointed it out, every time I look at her, she's speaking as if she's about to fuck somebody. Like she's in that, like her essence and her pheromones are just heightened, okay? Like she's about to get turned on by talking about this stuff. And I just don't understand the hard on that she got from Tariq getting arrested. You know, the way that she's telling Lauren, oh, you'll be okay and all this stuff. And, you know, Lauren is worried because she's like, is something, do y'all got evidence against him? Because how do you know that he really did this or whatever? Is it something that's on this watch that you had me record or whatever? I can't testify against him because he'll be mad at me. Well, he's a bad guy and he did this and woo, woo, woo. But then when the rest of the class come in and they're trying to get into the actual lessons of what's really free and all that, you know, Big Keisha, light-skinned Keisha, she was like, and shout out to light-skinned Keisha, she got engaged over the weekend. So, you know, congratulations. It's about goddamn time. Y'all been together for a minute, but congratulations to her. But she was like, so we really supposed to just go ahead and just act like ain't nothing happened and just keep going? And it almost seems as if she was like, fuck it, you know, he did what he did. He deserved to be up in jail. That's the way, deserved what he got. That's the kind of feeling that it was given. But then you got one of the guys that was in the, you know, that's always going against Tariq, who was basically saying, you know, he's supposed to be innocent before proven guilty. You know what I'm saying? And it was like he was kind of taking up for him. It was like the roles was reversed. But then, of course, you had the little white girl like, what if he gets out? Does that mean that he can come back on campus and come back in the room with us? Like, what is going on? Like, she was scared. I said, bitch, ain't nobody caring about you. But see, what got me so pissed off in that whole scene was the fact that you got Tate was being reasonable about it with his response. But then you got Carrie. She was like, he's not coming back. Okay, he's been charged with 2 murders of a cop and our beloved professor. I said, you couldn't stand that motherfucker. But now he's your beloved professor. And they got all this against him and he's not going to get out. He's going to jail. He's guilty. Like, bitch, what evidence do you have? Okay, and I'm just sitting here like, how did the tide turn so quickly about the way she felt about Tariq? I was so confused as to where all of this hostility and this gun-ho of saying that he's actually guilty without proving him innocent. You know what I'm saying? That's you know, she's already automatically said that he's guilty. There is no real evidence. Besides that shield, there is no real evidence against him. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't understand the reason why she's going so hard right now. Okay, it's just really, really fucking weird at this point. And I'm like, Carrie, bitch, you on your last leg, okay? Go get your last fuck so you can get the fuck up out of here. Because I'm about tired of your ass. I'm about tired of your ass. That attitude and the way that it flipped, I was really concerned and confused. Meanwhile, you got Lorenzo, he on the phone. Well, Monet went over there to talk to Dante. Dante was like, well, damn, bitch, what's this supposed to mean for us? She was like, I don't know, okay? He was like, I was dead ass serious about taking care of you and your kids or whatever, you know? So is this going to interrupt me trying to get to know my son, Zeke? You can still get to know him and all this stuff, but we just got to move in a certain way. We got to set it up a different way and all this stuff. And at this point, I'm sitting here like Dante is already plotting on how to take Lorenzo out. I can already see it. Lorenzo calls in the middle of that, supposed to be meeting up with Monet and all that, and he tells her that Tariq got arrested and charged with the double murder, okay? And he was like, y'all put that on him, and that was dumb as fuck because it can go back onto the family. It can come back onto the family. I said, see? God damn, maybe Lorenzo really do need to be up in charge, because every move that Monet and Kane has made so far has made issues. And at this point, I was like, damn, Monet, Lorenzo got a point, okay? She go down there to Davis trying to give him $250,000 to keep, you know, if anything with them come up, let her know, and basically to keep their name out of the shit, okay? He was like, it could hurt him. She said, I don't give a fuck. David said, well, bitch, if that's the case, give me $500,000, okay? And I was just like, you know what? Davis was trying to get out of her. How did all this shit happen? Of course, she ain't gonna tell him. She ain't gonna tell him, but he already know it's some fishy shit going on. Meanwhile, she had to go talk to Kane about the whole situation, okay? And was like, why did you do this or whatever? Why did you set him up like that? Well, you said do this. You said get him out the picture and all this stuff and woo, woo, woo. And this is what I had to do. And she was like, you dumbass. Now it's gonna blow back on us. Even if he don't go to jail or if he, whatever, he can snitch. And they can find evidence and they can put it back on him. I mean, on us. You know, it can all lead back to y'all if they do their job right. Okay? So now they got to figure it out. He was like, they need the $500,000 for the lawyer, so therefore they need to get the course correct shit back on track, and they can't do that because Tariq is in jail because he was the one running that. But then Kane was like, what about Brayden? He be running that shit. He hit a few licks with me so we can get the little white boy to do what we got to do. Okay? And so Monet was like, at this point, she's desperate. So she said, bring the little nigga in so we can talk. Okay? Let me fill him out right quick. And so at this point, Kane go over there talking to Dante. And he was like, so when your daddy get out? Like, how did he get out? And it was like some crooked ass prosecuting and all that shit or whatever. And, you know, I know you trying to stay invisible, but, you know, he want to meet you. He want to meet the connect. But see, Dante already figured out the issue with Kane. He feels as though Lorenzo want to come home. I'm the one that got this connect. I'm the one that's helping keep the family afloat. But now you want to come home after I did all this work and take credit for it and then push me out of it. Dante had to reassure him, oh, that's not going to happen. Your position is solid, okay? I said, oops. Meanwhile, Tate had to sit down with Tariq and get some information. And Tate whole thing is, you know what, I always knew that your ass was going to come back up in jail, but you were supposed to help me out and give me some information on Sweeney, but then you got me up here trying to help you out now. He said, bitch, get me out of this motherfucker and I will get the information that you need, okay? This is what I can. I went down there with a family event. I saw Sweeney and Brayden's daddy, and they got this book of fucked up things that they did while they was up in school, stuff that can damage a politician's reputation. If you get me out of here, I can get you that. I said, oh, okay, cool. So that's what's gonna happen. Meanwhile, back at the Tejada family, Lorenzo sitting at the table. They having a family meeting, and he basically telling them what's gonna be happening, okay? Diane, you ain't gonna be in the streets no more. I got other plans for you. Monet, you retired, okay? Kane, you go do this. Hit me up with the connect. Drew, we gonna do this and do that. He's just putting everything back out there, and he basically saying, I'm about to run this shit the way that I was running it before, okay? Because Monet had an issue with it. Monet was like, I don't need you talking to me like I'm one of your little fucking kids. Because I'm not. Because when you was up in jail, I was the one running shit. And he was like, exactly. You was running stuff because I was in jail. I'm home now. So therefore things are going to go back to the way that it was. Take this money, take your ass shopping, and enjoy your retirement. I said, Monet gonna take that man out in his sleep. Because the one thing Monet don't like is to be talked to like that. I said, oh, you are playing with fire, Lorenzo, and you just don't realize what you are setting up. Meanwhile, Tate did get Tariq to have this judge that's appointed who's very much about Black Lives Matter and the whole plight of black people or black men getting sent to jail for no reason and, you know, unfair trials and all this stuff. I said, oh, this is too good to be true. Prosecutor Sullivan sitting there like, what the fuck is going on? She trying to object to everything. And he was like, no, I'm talking to him, okay? I'm talking to him. Listen to what's going on. And basically was like, this is your first offense or something like that. You know, what was you doing after you was at school? He was like, yeah, I was at school. I was tutoring. I've never did anything like this or whatever. He was like, okay, cool. Basically tried to chap it up and make it seem like Tariq was this all outstanding person with nothing on his record, which he really did, you know, and you got Tate in the background just nodding at him like, continue, okay, pumping him up, basically saying he's gonna get bail, but he's gonna be monitored, okay? He has to stay at one of these apartments that he's supposed to be at. He can only go to Davis or whatever. And at one point, you know, Saxe got up in his feelings when they was talking and was like, you know that he did it. You know that he did it. And I'm sitting here like, Saxe, you're saying all of this because of the fact that you got history with him. And you are no longer a prosecutor. So therefore, you are a defense attorney. And even I know this. You can't keep doing this, okay? Davis had to shut his ass down and tell him, you can't do that. You can't ask our client if he really did that. You can't try to convince them that they did this or whatever, because that does not work in our favor. That makes the case fall apart, okay? And what you need to do, you need to not try to convince or talk to him or do anything like that again, okay? I said, Davis, you need to probably fire Saxe, because he becoming a liability at this point, okay? And I don't trust him to just stay on his grind or whatever. You know, he did ask, well, what's his name? Stay on the same course that you on, because see, Davis can differentiate. Davis is running his business thinking about money, okay? Saxe is actually thinking about what's right and wrong for once, okay? And he knows that Tariq ain't to be trusted, but you can't prove it. And that's what the judge said. There really was no evidence against him because he's in a dorm room that he's sharing with another person. How do we know that it's not Tariq's or it wasn't Braden that did that? You know what I'm saying? So at this point, we do find out that Tasha is in New Mexico. And I'm still wondering how come they didn't take the kid with her. But hey, it is what it is. And so I said, this is a fucking mess. Baby, no, because why is this episode so good? I don't care how long this review is. Listen, Tariq shows up at the dorm, okay? Braden is sitting there, and he like, damn, bro, you here? You know, so he goes up in the shower, in the bathroom, turn on the shower just in case it was bugged or whatever, and he just trying to understand what's going on. Did you know about Kane? You let him up in here. Did you know that he set me up or whatever? And he was like, well, actually, he came around and I was kicking it with him, but then I got sick. He came up in here and I was in the bathroom, so maybe he did something and I unintentionally let him in and do it. You know, so at this point, Tariq is like pissed because his whole thing is, I told you, don't fuck with Kane, and if you see that nigga, let me know. But Braden did the complete opposite. He went out with him, okay? And so therefore, you were being used, and Tariq had to put that out there just like that. You was being used, and now I got two bodies on me. I don't even know this Ramirez cat, and he didn't put that shit on me. And it's like, I'm doing this stuff. We got a reason for you doing this stuff. Why you doing this, okay? Why don't you just stop and go ahead and get your daddy to get you the money and get the jobs that you want to do, okay? You doing this just because you want to do it. We doing it because we got to. And he was like, hold up. Now, see, your daddy had privilege too. And I said, no, baby. The difference between you and Tariq is, yeah, your daddy got this type of white privilege that's going on. That wealth that came through, you know, from generations of white people and all that stuff. Tariq daddy, yeah, he had a little bit of influence, but he got his money from the streets, okay? So therefore, regardless of if he was born in the streets, he was street adjacent because of where his daddy came from and how his daddy got his money. His daddy took illegal money and tried to legalize that shit. You come from legal ass money somewhat, you know what I'm saying? You come from generational wealth that was already there. So yes, why are you doing this, okay? You're just doing it for fun. You're not doing it because you really need to do it. You're not struggling. And he told him, listen, the course correct shit, it's over, it's done with. You're kicked off, we're done, okay? You know, and I was like, damn, you think that's really wise? Because, you know, Brayden know a lot of stuff. But Brayden had to get his ass back, too. I wouldn't have been fucking around with this nigga had I known what was going on, because you don't tell me nothing. And I said, that's true too, Tariq. He got your ass on that. You were not telling him what was going on. So, hey, you know, maybe you did go a little bit hard because you partly guilty yourself, you know. So at this point, Kane and Brayden meeting up with Monet. And, you know, Kane had to tell Brayden what to say, okay? Brayden had to let him know the whole situation about Tariq. And Kane was like basically trying to make it, put it up in his head to basically have his back. Because when Monet asking him questions or whatever, you got to convince Monet that you want to do this whole thing or whatever. To convince her that you can still run course correct, that she needs you and all that stuff. And that's what he tried to do. And, you know, for the most part, he passed the test. But then when he walked away, she was like, yo, so did you put, was you with Kane and did you help Kane set up Tariq or whatever? He was like, listen, I put the thing up in there. I didn't know what was going on, you know, but we all got our worst situations. So he somewhat kind of took the heat a little bit off of Kane. At this point, Kane and Monet got to work together, okay? And that's what they said the last time that they met up. When she asked to meet, or when she said, come on, set up this meeting between me and Brayden. They on a team together, okay? Because they see, you know, they both got problems with Lorenzo right about now, okay? Their positions are threatened. So now the two that had issues with each other are now teaming up together, okay? My, how the tables have turned. Tariq is still up at Stanfield, and I said the fact that he just walking freely on this, how is he still there? I get it that he's been charged, but usually you would think that because of the way that this thing is set up, maybe it's because Simon said he got to stay, and that's why he didn't get kicked out. Because I feel like if Simon Stern wasn't ahead of this and all this stuff, he would have been got kicked out them dorm rooms or whatever because he got this charge, okay? And the fact that he black, oh no, he would have been got kicked out if he ain't had nobody behind him. Yeah. He see Lauren and he basically like, so why wasn't you there at the court? I just didn't know what was going on. I didn't know which way to go and all this stuff. And, you know, he's like, you're literally all that I have at this moment. You either for me or against me. And we saw right then and there, Lauren is not the ride or die that Tariq needs, okay? Or Tariq probably was looking for, you know? And that's why we see that Lauren was never the right fit for Tariq. She is not built for this street life. You got to get somebody that's in the game and understand that life just like you, okay? Not somebody that you got to, you know, convince this and I'm so scared. I'm so scared. I'm so scared. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And it was like, you know, Professor Milgram said, he said, bitch, the only reason why Professor Milgram is saying all this shit is because she trying to get the attention off the fact that she was fucking Zeke. I said, oh, okay, so that makes sense, right? So at this point, Tariq said you either for me or against me, and Lauren didn't even move. And he was like, okay, I see how it is. When people say that they love you, they don't even, people always show that they really don't love you. The ones that you love always just, you know, tear you down or fuck you over, whatever. So he in his little feelings. I said, oh, what is this about love? You love her or whatever? I said, stop playing. Okay. He just wanted somebody to have his back, and the one that he thought would didn't. And I said, I don't understand why you thought she would, you know, but you know, he said basically, I'm gonna move out that apartment. It's over. It's done with. You do what you got to do. Okay. Now Lauren is pissed. So she goes over there to Professor Milgram and was like, why the fuck was you telling me to do all this stuff or whatever? She said, listen, ain't nobody tell you to do nothing. Okay. just like you forced me to put this wire on me. She was like, ain't nobody put a gun to your head. You did what you had to do because you had that drugs on you and you didn't want your parents to find out. She said, oh, no, you did all that shit because you didn't want nobody to find out that you was fucking Zeke. And Professor Milgram, that face turned from, because you did all of this because of this, to... And I said, exactly, bitch. And she said, oh, you got me the first time, but you ain't gonna get me this time. And she walked the fuck out. I said, okay, Lauren, you got a point for me on that, because Carrie ass can go, okay? She can wind up in a duffel bag, okay? Like, girl, you know, you too cute to be acting so fucking dumb like you doing, okay? But anyway, at this point, Effie done popped up. I said, Effie, bitch, we ain't seen you in a minute. Effie, we ain't seen you in a minute. Okay, Effie popped up at the right time. You know, he need a little comforting, okay, from Miss Girly and somebody that's gonna actually be on his side, and he just need a new connect. She even asked, was the place bugged? And he said, of course it's not. And you know, that was basically what he was there for. The fact that somebody is understanding what he's going through, and then the fact that he needs this connect, and next thing you know, they start kissing and everything. And I'm just sitting here like, you know, Miss Effie, she just goes where her pussy goes, okay? And I love it, you know what I'm saying? And she said, listen, that ain't my man, but if I want it, I'll take it. I said, okay, okay, girl. You know, she already knew Lauren wasn't it, but hey, it is what it is. She said, shit, while I'm here, I might as well get something out the deal. You know, bang me up a little bit, okay? But I was like, oh, so that he could get that money, because he got to get $2 million. You know, and he's feeling the pain of the fact that he feel like Yasmin probably gonna hate him because he's no longer there with her. She got to go back into the system and all that. And of course, she was there. Effie was there to like calm his nerves and to say, you know, she'll forgive you eventually, okay? So it's all going to be all right, you know. Meanwhile, we over here at the Tejada house, and they over here reminiscing at the table. Oh, you remember when Kane used to rap, and we used to do this and all this stuff? Next thing you know, they started playing rap, making little beats on the table, and then here comes Lorenzo turning on some music. You know what I'm saying? Lorenzo got a good taste of music, okay? I listen to whatever it was that he was doing. You know, I love that type of shit. But at the same time, Monet, while everybody else is sitting there like this, yeah, daddy, Poppy, yeah. They still up in the bliss of the fact having daddy's home. Girl, Monet sitting there like this. Listen, I'm finna go get some cheesecake. Yeah, go get some cheesecake and hurry up back. I said, oh, she ain't finna go get no cheesecake. I know she finna go see Dante. Okay, that's what she about to go see. I would. Dante, take him out right now. I just can't wait to see. Truth be told, they should have brought Power back last week. Because now, like, I'm really ready. I cannot wait to see how this is gonna play out. I never thought that I would be excited about the Ghost series, okay? Because it's Tariq or whatever. But, baby, I can't wait to see how this is going to play out. I really can't. So, of course, Monet didn't go to get no cheesecake, or at least she didn't show us. She went to go talk to Dante and to tell him, listen, we can't keep doing this stuff that's going on right about now. Whatever plans we had going on, it's over and it's done with. I gotta choose my husband, my kids, or whatever. And he was like, Zeke, my son too, so what's going on? And she was like, you know, it's cool or whatever, but at this point, I don't want no more contact with you. You can't see Zeke. It's gonna mess up everything. And I said, oh no, this is not what's happening, okay, Monet? You can say that it's over, but the way Dante looked, oh, that shit ain't over, okay? Meanwhile, Lorenzo up there talking to Diana and saying, so the plan that we got for you is we're going to let you go to school. I'm going to put forth some money for your tuition at St. John's, okay? And her whole thing is, I mean, I wanted to go to school, but I didn't want to go to no St. John's. And that's Monet that's doing that, because I want to go to Stansfield up there with Z, and it's her still trying to control stuff. And, you know, to be honest, I'm thinking that she would be okay and excited about the fact that you out, but she's not. I'm getting that vibe. And he was like, I mean, you know, she just got to adjust or whatever. And I'm sitting here like, oh, that's because you wasn't a part of this plan, okay? And Diane, once again, Diane just don't care. Okay, Diane put it all out there. It was supposed to be a backup plan that didn't even include you to get up out of here, out of the game. And he goes to Zeke, not to Zeke, but to Drew. Lorenzo was like, what's the fucking plan? Mind you, I forgot to say this. Lorenzo knows Drew is gay. Okay, he knows Drew is gay, and I guess he okay with it, but he just want him to be smart with it. Cause when Monet and him was pillow talking that night after he got out of jail, when they had the party at the beginning of the episode, she put it out there that he got a little distractions or whatever, and he was like, they fucking. He said, I already know about Drew. Okay, they fucking, yeah, they are. Okay, but that's probably why he want him to be his head in the game more, okay, to get him away from that. But he didn't throw it up in his face that he know that he gay and all this stuff. Mind you, he was standing there when he talked to Lorenzo. When Lorenzo was talking to Drew up there texting Everett, okay, he had to tell him that it was a family emergency. He can't meet up with him, but Drew had to let him know there was a backup plan to get us out the game. It did not involve you because we did not know that you was coming home. That's why. And the backup was to basically live off of Zeke. Okay? Follow him around, be his agent and his team or whatever if you get into the league. And so, at this point, Lorenzo was like, we're going to go ahead and do your plan with Keno. Okay? I need you to go shadow him, go follow him or whatever. Do that right here, right now. And so he was cool with it. Meanwhile, after Tariq had talked to Effie and Effie told him, listen, you need to just go ahead and apologize to Brayden, okay? Because he do be having your back and you kind of went hard on him. And so he wound up doing that, and he wound up telling Brayden just about everything, okay? This what happened. I know for sure that I didn't kill the cop. And even Brayden said, listen, I met up with Monet, and I can tell that you had nothing to do with that cop situation, definitely. But they not to be trusted. And I can still get on their good side or whatever, and Tariq told him about the cop. Tariq told him about Jabari. Tariq told him about a particular murder that happened. That murder that happened at the the swim meet. Okay, well, at the basketball game, that guy that got killed in the pool, and when 2-Bit came up there, and he was like, "Well, I thought you said this happened or whatever." Yeah, I lied, just so that you wouldn't get involved in all that stuff. Kane was the one that brought old boy up there to take me out and all this stuff. Woo, woo, woo. So now we're establishing the fact that we're going to be honest with each other for the most part. You're going to be back on the team. And not only that, I need you to get that book at your daddy house from that photo book, from his college days. He was like, okay, cool. So now he's having a team meeting with Effie and Brayden. And this is the whole people that they got now, okay? So they're going to shut down, course correct for a minute until this murder stuff died down. But Effie is the go-to between Monet and him. And Brayden's just going to be Brayden doing what he already do, okay? Like being the face for right now, okay? And at one point, Effie did go meet up with Monet, and Tariq had called her because Effie had a burner phone. And he was like, I know y'all fucked me up, okay? She was like, I ain't had no idea that, Kane was going to do this or whatever. So I'm like, damn, Monet is just playing every side at this point. And she put herself in a dangerous position because now you're going to have enemies on all fronts that's going to be able to take you out, okay? You making it seem like you on Kane's side, but then you making it seem like you're on Tariq's side by throwing Kane under the bus, but telling Tariq, don't touch him because that's my son or whatever, because if you touch him, I'm going to touch your ass, you know what I'm saying? But I understand, like, we going to still be working together on the low, And he was like, just keep Kane away from me. Effie tried to Monet tried to intimidate Effie, and she was like, Tariq must be putting it down on you. You must be putting it down on him. She said, that don't get nowhere with me. She said, bitch, I don't care. Okay? Whatever. Keep the burner phone. I'm going to do business, and that's what it is. Okay? I said, all right. This is what Tariq needed in the first place. Okay? Meanwhile, Kane meet up with Lorenzo trying to tell him, listen, I am the connect. Because at first, Mecca said, no, he wasn't going to meet with him, I guess. Because later on, he do say to Kane, I meet up with your daddy. I meet up with him. But in this particular moment, when they had this meet up, Kane said, I'm the connect. And he put out his differences. You basically played me and made me feel as though that you was going to pick me, but yet you picking Drew. Okay? And, Lorenzo was like, you sure this what you want? Okay, I said, oh, what y'all finna do? Y'all finna boss up? Y'all finna go at each other like this? This is crazy. Daddy against son, son against mama, brother against brother. You know, it's just a lot. Meanwhile, you got Lauren going up there to Prosecutor Sullivan trying to get out of testifying if they call her on the stand because of that wire that she took. She was like, bitch, they had me sign me something that I didn't even know what it was about. And then old girl was like, listen, this is what you got to learn. You have to actually look at what you're signing, but you can't get out of this because you signed it. Mind you, Saxe was there, and he overhearing all of this stuff. And, you know, she came out and she was like, listen, I'm going to have to take a rain check. He was like, okay, cool. I had to do the same thing. Meanwhile, when Dante had texted Kane to tell him, listen, to set that meeting up with your daddy, he out there looking at Zeke playing basketball. I said, all right, cool. So Effie and I said Dante ain't finna let this shit slide. I feel like Dante might blow the spot up. I feel like he gonna blow the spot up, okay? Meanwhile, you got Effie and Tariq having a little, you know, sit down and talking about everything that's gonna happen, and then he winds up showing her the note that Ghost sent him. I knew your ass was gonna be up in here, little nigga. He was like, you know, my daddy knew me better than I knew myself. He was like, well, this ain't necessarily your the chapter that could be your chapter. Your story ain't over yet. Okay, like she was giving him encouragement and everything, and next thing you know, she kissed him as they left. I said, wait a minute. So you just dumped Lauren and now you with Effie for real, for real? I said, bitch, in about an hour, left that bitch and got to the next one and burnt that letter. I said, oh, baby, this is good. I loved it. Y'all tell me how y'all felt about it. That's why the review long. And I'll see y'all later. Peace.